Hey everyone, this is the Movie Maniac. Merry Christmas! This is the Christmas special here with our Gremlins review. And I'm excited to go over this because I just watched it last night on Blu-ray and I hadn't seen it in so long. But I've always loved the film and it was one of those ones I watched pretty frequently as a kid. I think most of you already know the plot. It's basically a guy brings home this creature called Mogwai to his son for Christmas. Its name is Gizmo. They break one of the big rules in accident, which is don't get him wet. There are more little Mogwai as a result. They end up eating after midnight on accident, and then they turn into gremlins. The gremlins wreak havoc on the town. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why I even went over the plot. I feel like most people know Gremlins, but just in case you didn't, there you go. Steven Spielberg said that this is not a horror movie, but it's not a spoof of any genre, and he felt it was so original that he had to buy the rights to it and be a producer. It's all practical effects in this movie, so it's everything from puppet work to like stop frame animation, which you never see anymore. So it's kind of a really good glimpse at how it looks when you just focus on practical effects. And if that's your thing, you're gonna love what they do here because that's the whole thing. You know what's interesting is prior to popping in this Blu-ray, we just finished watching the final episode of season 2 of The Mandalorian. No spoilers, but I'll just say going into this, it was fascinating because you have the original Baby Yoda as Gizmo, right? And Kathleen Kennedy is a producer on both of those. It's just interesting there. I don't think any of that's a coincidence. All of the actors do a great job in this. I like the dad as the inventor. Phoebe Cates is in this, and I know that a lot of people that are into nostalgia culture always talk about how hot she is and everything, and I was always like, yeah, she's all right. But then after watching this, I was like, oh no, she's pretty cute. Fun fact, the setup for the town they use in this movie is the same one from Back to the Future. I always thought that was pretty interesting, and when you watch it with that in mind, you definitely see it. There are a lot of little things in here that Stranger Things pulled out from it, like the science teacher in the high school that they're bringing things to. And yeah, I mean, this is just a staple. It's considered an 80s classic. I think that if it's been a while since you've seen Gremlins, it's definitely worth a revisit. Just kind of know what you're getting into. And like I said, you know, it is dated, but it can still be understood like what the impact of this movie was, how much many of us loved it as a kid. These gremlins, they want to party, but they also want to destroy everything. And they're so unpredictable that they might even just kill you out of nowhere. So, you know, they are fairly original in that sense, and I think that that's what sets them apart from so many other creatures. There are some scenes that are pretty brutal, like when the mom is killing these gremlins in the house. I mean, it definitely pushes the envelope a little bit for a movie like this. In the beginning of the movie where the dog is trying to hide under the desk in the bank and that lady is saying like all these horrible things she wants to do to the dog, like, yeah, that's pretty cruel too. So what I'm saying is, yeah, and I mean, it's known then, but in case it's been a while, don't let Gizmo deceive you. This is not going to be a light, fluffy movie. Not at all. I am all for more Gremlins if they want to try to introduce this to a new generation. I think that it's well past due. I would have expected this to happen maybe in the early 2010s, so yeah, it's much needed. I heard a rumor that there was going to be like a Gremlins TV series. I think that might actually be happening. And then I had heard that they were trying to get a actual sequel to the film made. So I'll take it all. I think it's time to update this world. Guys, with all that being said, I'm going to give Gremlins an 8 out of 10. This is a great movie for what it is. I think that many of you have probably already seen it recently, but if you haven't, it's definitely worth a revisit. Like I said, I had the Blu-ray, and it was just a cool thing to go back to, especially during this holiday season. We just did Batman Returns. It was an unbagging and movie review video. And that one, it's a different kind of Christmas movie, you know? I mean, these are both not happy, cheery-go-lucky Christmas films. So it just ended up being that way. It's not like I set out to deliberately review stuff like that. All right, guys, Merry Christmas. Hope you're able to enjoy the holiday. I know this year has been hell on almost everyone. And I know that it's different the way we're celebrating these holidays for many of us, and it's been a challenging year. I know this is a small little channel that I upload these videos to, but if you've gotten any joy out of these at all, I think that's great. You know, if you're one of those people that doesn't subscribe, but you pop in from time to time just to kind of check in on things, I think that's cool too. You know, any of that, that's all great. If I can spread even the smallest amount of joy around, hopefully I will have done my purpose. Most of you already know the drill, but for those who don't want to stay on the nice list next year, make sure to smash that notification bell. like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay inside the mind of a movie maniac.